couple of minutes to stick the stream on, and then we'll go.
Oh, dear me.
How much you had to drink today?
Oh, I haven't.
No excuses for not finishing the race then?
I'll finish the race, right? Don't worry about that.
You had to report a load of penalties and make a load of things up to get in the points last night in your own league, so good luck here.
That's ridiculous. I've never had that. 15 seconds worth of penalties and they weren't track limits. And none of them are my fault. Ridiculous. Can't get over that.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have your footage, so I couldn't remove the one where it said overtake yellow flag, because obviously...
I tried to find it on the stream.
I know you probably, obviously just overtook the cars and it was a bug in the game, but, you know, you might have flown past another car.
I got wing damage from it, didn't I?
Yeah.
But they just spun and I hit them, and then I went past them and they gave me that illegal overtake. That's why I slowed down. I shouldn't have slowed down as well. That cost me more time.
Oh, right, anyway, Canada. Let's hope we can have a repeat of last night where we had both leagues, League 1 and Championship, not a single DNF. Yeah, it's raining. It's raining. We had some rain in qualifying last night. Oh, is it dry tyres? It is. It's wet tyres. Wet tyres we're on as well. See, last night it was Q3 as well. It was really interesting because it started to rain the end of Q1. And it was light rain all the way through to Q3. It really started to pick up, and then finally moved on to the inlets in Q3. But yeah, it really mixed things up. We're starting off with rain here. Is it? Did have no rain in the race though. Are we going to have any rain tonight? Can you tell us?
I'm still loading up.
Oh, of course, yeah, of course. We have a glitch for about 45 seconds ahead. Yeah. So drivers don't know it's raining yet if they're not watching the stream. But the cars are on the
qualifying one. Just wait for it to go through. I really don't believe Jeff word he says, but it's obviously raining in a minute. I just want to see what the race is like. Yeah, we'll call it quali one, all wet. Race is dry apparently.
There we go. And so race is going to be dry. Evening to Dylan. Someone's happy. Yeah, sounds it. Swanshanks. Wales. Yeah, this is Formula 1, not rugby. We're not talking about rugby. Not after that result, boring, anyway. Not talking about football today either. Enough of that for one day. Again, look, just watching the game earlier, VAR, and it's an absolute mess. Anyway, Formula 1, that's what we're talking about here. Oh, and last night again, what a fantastic race it was. It was Weisheng who won. He just got slough in the end, had too much pace for him, and those two were miles in front. And then softly pick up penalties at the end. He did one stop, didn't he? Medium soft, and it really did cost him in the end. But of course, Welsh Maldonado got her first podium with us as well. So that was a fantastic result for her. And it really was an interesting race. It was just non-stop, the whole race. Let's have a look. Who's going to be the first car to set a time? I think it's going to be Sweet MJP. There he is on his second race. Racing with the big boys. After he was promoted with his mate Potstuff, direct from League 1 last week. After they were very impressive in those leagues, weren't they? We'll be on board with Sweet MJP for his lap. We'll go on the overhead view. Let's take you a look through the standings. So we'll get that done early on. So yeah, Denzo, look at this, in the lead. He's on 142 points already. Tango's left the session for the first time. Oh, I didn't send him as many invites, so I need to send him a couple more. All the champions for a couple of people off yesterday, people invalidating qualifying. So yeah, Denzo's on 142, Siege is on 80, and then Rick is on 79. So it's 1 point between them, and it's 35 points back to Sully in 4th, and then Chazza in 5th, and there's a big train there going all the way down to the back. And there's only 4 yet to score, and they're Jay Story, and then Sam Swift Ninja as well, who's only been racing for 3 weeks, and then Potstuff and Sweet MJP, who didn't score points on their first race. last week. Have a look into the constructors. Still got quite a lot of cars in the pits as well, so not all going for it early on. And yeah, Alfa Romeo, Denzo's points, as well as Cowie's points as well, even though he's a very strong driver, came second last year. They're on 160, 40 clear Racing Point, and those teams are looking really, really good, aren't they? So this is Sweet MJP on his lap. We've got a yellow flag. I think it's just for car. That's a Racing Point, just slowing down on their preparation lap. I think that's Rick Dolan. Here it is. Good luck, Prem, saying Liam in the comments. Well, what frightening weather, saying Serious Mushroom in the Mercedes. Yeah, this track's bad enough for track limits. The rain's going to make it even harder. It might suit some drivers though. Obviously track limits only in terms of qualifying, because apparently we've got a dry race. If I believed every word Jay Bradfield told me, it wouldn't be too far in life. 121 for Sweet MJP on his first lap as Tango joins back. I'm about to see the Renault pot stuff and see what he can do. He goes 4 tenths quicker, so he's up to P1 now. We're then going to see a McLaren. It must be Nunda. Nunda, the wet master he is, and he absolutely loves these conditions. He invalidated his lap, and he must have done it on the final corner, because it's next lap invalidated, as Marvsky sets fastest lap with a 120.2, so he's looking good on these inters as well. Next Renault crosses the line. It's just on a preparation lap. I think is that Bradfield? It is. He's up to P1 for 120.0. Good lap there from him. His teammate Jay Story crossed the line. He's in 5th. It's about a second off the pace, and then Sam's going to cross the line, and he's even slower, so struggling at the moment. I think so. Just lagged again. Someone must have come out of the session. Haas is about to cross the line. I think that's Siege. He invalidated this and next as well. As soon as you come off that final corner, if you cut it, you don't even have to go 4 wheels off really for it to invalidate. It's really, really harsh. But anyway, we didn't go through the grid for tonight. We have got, I think, 17 of the usual drivers. No, I think it's 18. Yeah, we've only got 2 reserves. No, it is 17. We've got 3 reserves. It's Bradfield in the Red Bull. He's replacing Knowlesy tonight. Knowlesy won't be too happy that we put him in his seat, but we'll deal with it. And we've got Mr. Elite making his WNR debut. He's in the Williams alongside Farf. He's coming for Sully. And then we've got young Tommy. There we go. He was on standby last week. He was on standby last night, but everyone turned up, and he's finally getting his chance here today in the Premier League for young Tommy then. And he's on a lap now, finishing sector 1. It's a 23.3. Evening Welsh Maldonado. Vintage saying good up Premier League 2. Evening everyone saying PLXers. Not quite sure what to call him. If you're still there, type what we should call you, because we keep calling him Plixters or Pixters. We're not too sure, but one thing we can call him is a really quick driver. As young Tommy gets a bit slidey going through there. It's really quick, because he won on his debut in League 1 last night by quite a long distance as well. I knew it, saying Nunda. Yeah, Nunda loves these conditions. He's got so much quicker lately. He's had some great results, but with these conditions as well in qualifying, you can expect him to start high. What did it say for the weather for the rest of qualifying?
Let's have a look. I just toggled to the race. Let's have a look. I just have to wait for it to go through.
Oh, young Tommy invalidating the final corner. Yeah, the third victim of that. Wet conditions really aren't helping with that, are they, at the moment? Siege came into the pits then. It was the other Haas. Like Sweet MJP, yes, the other Haas on his third lap. He does 119.9. First car's getting the 119s. Only 6 cars have set a lap low. Can Crooksy change that? No, he can't. Or was it pot stuff? Oh, it's pot stuff. That's why Crooksy couldn't change it, because he wasn't even on a lap.
Yeah,
Samson,
I think all the qualifying's going to be wet.
All the qualifying. Did it say up to 45 minutes?
Yep.
Crooksy, yeah, I don't know if he'd already invalidated, but he definitely has now. So let me see, Ferrari, is he going to be coming to the pits? No, he's not. Ferrari's going to be going. That's Sam again. He's up on this lap. I think he's up anyway, unless it's just a glitch. And he's going to improve here. It's a 119.7. He takes P1. Then we've got a Mercedes as well. That's going to be... Is it Serious Mushroom? It is Serious Mushroom. What time can he do? He's up to P5 or 120.2. It is pretty close at the top. But a lot of drivers are leaving it. So I don't know if it's going to dry up a little bit towards the end of the session. But it's still a good 5 cars in the pitch yet a set of time. But Rick Dalton, there we go. It's 50-50 whether he'd race tonight. I think he was getting his controller fixed. But he is racing, and he's definitely in contention today. 118.7. He always is at the top. Denzo might have something to say about that. But it's a second clear of the rest of the pack so far from Rick. Quality lap. Next up's an AlphaTauri. Is that young Tommy going again? It is. Of course, he invalidated the lap before. Now going to see a Renault. I think that might be Crooksy. No, it's not Crooksy. It's twice I got it wrong. Pot Stuff's going again. Is he up though? It says he was up through sector 2, and he goes up to P4, and that's his 4th lap with these tyres. Of course, when it is wet in qualifying, you sort of keep going because the tyres get used to it. You get used to the wets more as well, so you do tend to improve. As we see Tango up to P2. Good to see him set a lap where he's not been kicked out of the session. When we get a break in play, we'll get him a couple more spare invites. I think I only sent him 4 or 5. Is this Crooksy? Now it's Crooksy, but he invalidated again. So he's still not set a time. Not the worst thing in the world, because like we said here, it doesn't matter so much. Sam Swift is in P2 of a 119.1, only 4 tenths off Rick now. So maybe the track is getting a little bit quicker. I think Tango's going for another lap here, just going for back-to-back laps, putting plenty of fuel in the car. Let's see what Serious Mushroom can do. Is he's going to set another lap, but not sure he improved. Maybe he's just saving up for this lap. AlphaTauri next. Hopefully Tommy can get through this little... Ooh, how?
Yeah, I don't. It's rubbish, isn't it?
I didn't see him cut a corner. Good luck to all the drivers saying shadows. Is it wet or dry race? Bradfield saying it's a dry race, but I'd like a more reliable person to say something in the comments on that.
Jeff's told me that. Dry.
Pot Stuff's up to P4 and Tango's up to P1. There we go then. 2 back-to-back laps without him being kicked from the session. Unbelievable that for him, and it's an unbelievable lap time as well. As you see Sean and Cowie now set times, they're P9 and P10. Yeah, that's on their first lap. Mr. Elite on his first lap, we know he's very quick. He's in P8, so he does show a bit of a pattern up here. All the drivers at the top have gone on multiple laps, and Crooksy's up to P5. Siege goes up to P2 on his second lap on those tyres as well. Ferrari's going to be next. I don't know if I think that's Marvel and outlap. Yeah, it is. Marvel's going again on the same set of tyres though, and we just see Nunda goes up to P7. I think he'll be a bit disappointed with that. I'm not sure if he's going again either. Red Bull's next across the line as Jay Story. He did improve, but he's still about 2nd off the pace of the rest of the cars at the moment, so we'll need to pick it up a little bit. Both AlphaTauri's yet to set a time. Denzo yet to set a time. Farf and Chaz are also next to set a time. Set a lap, sorry. I think it's going to be not going to be Siege. I'm not having much luck today guessing which car it is. Sweet MJP, and I don't think he did improve actually. He's in P8, 119.9 still. Alfa Romeo next. I think that's Denzo. Now starting his lap then. Or watch Denzo on his lap. He's earned that for all the wins he's had so far this season. Whilst you're on board with him, have a look through the stats. He's had. Wow, he's had.
Sean up to 8.
5 wins, Denzo, isn't he, this season out of 6 races so far, and the other one was won by Emerson, who was reserving on that week. Was it Emerson who won the other one? I think it was. Can't remember. But yeah, he's won 5. Oh, he's got a bit slidey there, though, Denzo. He needs to be careful he don't put it in the wall. It's a funny camera angle, I don't want to see that. Siege is invalidated on his lap. We'll go back to Denzo. There we go, the camera's changed now. Yeah, 6 podiums, 6 pole positions for Denzo. Unbelievable. He's got every single pole position so far, so it really is going to take something to stop him. 5.5 minutes left. I want to get a lap set now. Rick's got 4 podiums, Siege has got 3, Sully's got 2, Chaz has got 1, so we've only had 5 different drivers on the podium. Of course, Sully isn't racing tonight, and Denzo has invalidated, and he's hit the wall as well, and he's got big wing damage. Tango has left the session now, so not only is Denzo not be able to set this lap, he's going to have to come in the pits as well and change that front wing. Yeah, it's pretty big wing damage on that right hand side as well. We just went too deep and hit the wall, into the wall of champions. So if Denzo's struggling, then I'm sure everyone is going to be struggling, because he really is the ultimate driver, no matter what conditions it is. And Dan Murphy has retired the car in the pits. We know he does this sometimes. He does like to start from the back, and this is just one of those tracks you might be able to drive around the back and avoid penalties. And we did see it last year, didn't we? It was let's go to the car who's on a lap. We're going Marvey's back across the line. We saw Sean cross the line in P12 to finish the race, and he actually ended up in 3rd because he had hardly any penalties, whereas everyone in front did. And because there was a safety car right at the end, that made it so good for Jay Story as well, as Sean, who just driven around pretty slowly, almost a lap down, both of them, and caught up to the safety car. I'm surprised that's not invalidated for Marv, and got big points out of it. It's just one of those tracks, it's never over no matter what happens. And hopefully we'll have no DNF again today, just like the last couple of races we've had this weekend. And it was Crooksey's got one win in WNR, and it was Crooksey that won here in Canada in season 1. It was only a couple of months ago, so it was right towards the end of the season. Yeah, Crooksey won. Liam got his first podium with us, and then I think, yeah, it was Sean in P3 as well. So it was a really mixed up grid. Denzo didn't finish the race, so, and he's having more struggles here today, isn't he? So has he? He's not got very far on his lap, has he? Has he gone for another lap? Did he miss the pits? I think he might have missed the pits there, Denzo, but he does need to get in pretty quickly. He seems really calm about it at the moment. Error, but I was in for an 18-1, saying Tango. There we go. So he's got even more pace, Tango saying. He's P1 at the moment, looking good. Siege and Rick Dalton look pretty good. They're in the 118s too. You'd think they'd be through. Too early to save one else. You don't know what the track's going to do. It might suddenly have a dry spell for a couple of minutes. That might be enough. Young Tommy goes up to P14, pushes carrying. So both Alfa Romeos in big trouble. Iron Siege is retired, which is in the, I think it's in the pits. There's a Haas going really slowly. I'm not sure if that's yeah, Siege's teammate. There we go. Well, I was worrying there that Siege had crashed his car and it was just sliding along. Siege did that, I think, in USA last year in wet conditions. He went out to get practice even though he was already through, and he crashed the car. So he started down in 10th, I think. We're now seeing the Alfa Romeo of Denzo. He's going out. He's setting a lap with the wing damage. He's trying to set his laps with the wing damage. I mean, even for Denzo, this is unbelievable if he can get through on this. Surely, why did he not come in? A bit surprised at that from Denzo. He had plenty of time to come in and go and set a time, but it's with the track limits, it's so easy just to get it a little bit of understeer, which you will with quite big wing damage, which he's got, and then cut a corner. But mind you, he's got through the first 2 sectors like it. Well, he has now anyway, but it's just how quick's this time going to be? Or what did that just say? I didn't see what just come up. Pot Stuff's gone up to, no, not Pot Stuff, sorry, who's that? Young Tommy's got up to P8. Good lap there from Young Tommy. He's doing really well, showing he's got the pace, at least in the wet conditions. On his 5th lap on those tyres as well. We see Bradfield go up behind. Pot Stuff just set another lap. He's now starting his lap, sorry. Sean's in P12. He's on another lap trying to improve. Let's see what Denzo does as he crosses the line, and he's up to P4 with lap wing damage. It's not only the end plate that's come off the right hand side lap wing of that car, but it's even more into the middle of the wing too. It must be orange at least. That's incredible from Denzo. Pace is unbelievable, and his teammate Cowie's just gone up to P7 too, so it's looking good for Alfa Romeo now. They both look like they're going to be going through, but towards the back, Farf and Chaz, I'm not sure why they've left it so late to go and only do 1 lap, and Farf's invalidated, so he's only have 1 more bite of the cherry then, and Chazza is just behind Farf, and he's done the same thing, so there's only 1 run for them. Jay Story's in 17th. He needs to find over a second if he's to get through it. And the other car at the moment going out is his teammate reserving today's Bradfield. He's on an outlap. He's only going to have 1 run at trying to get through. So the other car's in the danger zone at the moment. Marv is in the pit. Of course, we're about 40 odd seconds behind. I do keep forgetting that, at least. They might have a couple of runs still. Showboat in St. Nunda. Yeah, Denzo, definitely. Dan is the last to master. Yeah, Dan's going for Dan just wants a game to give him driver of the day, I think, here. Jeff said rain in 45 minutes last night, and it rained 2 minutes later. Typical Jeff saying Dylan. Goddamn track limit, saying Young Tommy. Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it? Tango's retired. And yeah, when it does die down, we will get Tango a couple of spare invites. But anyway, we're going to go on board. Who's going to be first set a lap? Oh, Chaz is invalidated. Listen, next Chaz is done. Chaz is out. What does the time say for you?
Hold on, let me just go around this corner.
Yeah, wait till you're on the straight.
32 seconds.
There you go. So Chaz has invalidated his time. He's going to be out then. I'm not sure why he left it so late, but his qualifying's been incredible late. He's been right at the top getting points, hence why he's 4th in the standings. But he's now going to have to start last because he left it so late. And everyone else, look at the top, 3 laps, 5 laps, 4 laps. Rick's going to make it 6 laps and does an 1:18.4 on 6 laps, no tyres to go up to P1. You know, you need a good few laps practice on this, and Chazza and Far have only gone for 2 laps, and they've both invalidated their times. And they're both going to be going out. What's the time say now? It's all over, isn't it? So Farf and Chazza and Dan Murphy all going to be out. Jay Story's invalidated his time as well, so he's going to be out as he crosses the line. It's only Bradfield that can change it now, and he hits the wall of champions. He's about to cross the line, though. Can he improve on his time? He does. He goes ahead of Mr. Elite, but Mr. Elite's behind, and Mr. Elite is up. And on his debut, can he get through? Yes, he can. Yeah. Bradfield's out, and Mr. Elite's only up to P14 yen, only a tenth quicker than Bradfield. But there we go, big surprises there that Chazza, Farf didn't even get a time set. Dan Murphy, of course, he'd have wanted to start last, but he's going to start 18th, and the 2 Red Bulls also going to be going out. Jay Story is well off the pace in the end. Bradfield in 16th, just missing out.
Can't do it in the wet. Cannot do it.
And that final corner wouldn't have helped him there too. Marvsky scrapes through then. But yeah, young Tommy, good to see him get through as well. The League 1 driver reserving tonight, really good effort from him. And good to see Sweet MJP and Pot Stuff right up top of the grid as well. And well, I remember, yeah, Tango's now asking for a couple more invites. That's exactly what I'm about to do. I should make a custom list that just says Tango on it, shouldn't I? And of course we do have the AIs up to 80 as well for this race. Tango was one of the reasons we thought of that. We brought it up at one of our admin meetings because the amount of times he gets kicked from the session, it's just not fair. He loses out so much, and the AI is usually on, I think, 41 it puts it on. So even though it's still going to be slower, at least saves you a bit of time, doesn't plummet you to last when you get kicked from the session. Getting one more. I think you should have 5 or 6 now. You'll probably need more come the end of quali. There we go. Good few invites there. Is the rain hit halfway through the race, Mushroom? Is Mushroom saying it's got 20 minutes, saying Mushroom? Are we getting rain in the race then?
Oh God, I hope not.
Make an interesting watch. It's always an interesting watch anyway here, but yeah, there we go. I think Marvsky will be happy with that. But both Red Bulls out in Q1. Only 17 cars set time, so the slowest times are the 17. Even so, it's quite close though. 1.4 seconds between the whole field. And when you think of how quick some of these drivers are, you know, it's pretty good. Pretty close to what it usually is. Dry rain dry, saying Tango. So it's going to be a dry start to the race, and then a wet middle of the race, and potentially a dry end. Wow, this could be a really eventful race. I'm looking forward to this now. I was looking forward to it in the first place, but even more so now. I think we're still on the inters. Yes, we are. When it's raining in the middle of the race, is it just going to be, does it say if it's going to be light or heavy, or Crooksy will win again today, saying Shadders. Yeah, Shadders of course is Renault teammate. Yeah, we know Crooksy likes this track. I think he was the only DNF last week in the Premier League, wasn't he? I think in China he lost it. The only DNF in the championship last week was Woods in the Renault as well. So Renault not had the best time of it the last couple of weeks. And Shadders I think was involved in an incident yesterday too. So yeah, Renault not had the best of luck the last few races. There's hope something can happen for them today, and both cars are at least in the Q2. And there we go, Tango's left the session already. It's one of those invites wasted. Denzo's out, Siege is out, Rick is out, Sweet is out, and Sean is out.
I'll bang Tango a load of invites as well.
Yeah, there you go, cheers, that'll do. Well, Denzo again first out, so we'll watch his lap when he starts it. Yeah, so we think it's going to be into conditions, so we're going to start the race dry, and of course if it's a wet it's wet Q2, so everyone will be on free tyre choice at the beginning of the race. And it's just how much do you trust Jeff, basically, with what tyres you start on. Because if it's going to be 10 minutes till the rain, you want to start on the softs. If it's around 20-25 minutes, you want to start on the mediums. If it's not going to come for about half hour, you might want to start on the hards. But with it saying it's going to be then going to rain, then be dry at the end, so they go on the inters for a little bit, and then potentially softs at the end, depending on. Oh, is that a Ferrari sliding around? No, it's just a Ferrari coming out of the pits. I think it was Marvski, wasn't it? There we go, there he is. So we're on board with Denzo then. No, we're not. That's Sam. This is Denzo. Oh, it's just masters it, isn't he? It makes it look so easy. And I know from experience driving it, it's impossible in these conditions. Really hard. I'd much rather it be full wets. Last night's conditions were the worst though. When it's only just, it's the weather's like this, but it's still on the soft tyres. That's when it's, you know, at its hardest, I think, for me. Really hard to judge. The car can just lose it any moment. The back end sticks out. But even still, this is not far off that. Just a bit too wet, obviously, for the soft tyres, and of course the track's been wet for a lot longer as it's been raining all through Q1. This lap from Denzo has been tighter. Ferrari has lost it. Is that this? I think it's Marv on his outlap. No, he's just daisy cutting. Taking your job there, Justin. Back with Denzo then. This lap looks masterful. This. It's a 1:19.9. So I don't know if the track's got a bit wetter, but that's slower than the times we saw in Q1, wasn't it? And there we go. It's a 1:19.1 for Siege. So Siege is 8 tenths quicker than Denzo. I didn't see Denzo make any mistakes on that lap, so I'm not quite sure what happened there. And Rick Dalton's on a 1:18.3, so yeah, it was a slow time. And Denzo has set the exact same time as Sweet MJP, as we see young Tommy and Sean go ahead of them both as well. I think Denzo is going again. Oh, I see he's 1.7 up just through sector 1. He must have made a mistake through sector 1 then, which we didn't see. That's probably when he went on board with the Ferrari that was off the track. But yeah, Sam Swift's now up to P5. He just goes ahead of Sweet. Love that when you see two identical times. Cowie's now come through to start. Is that Mr. Elite's on and out? That he's about to, oh, I hope that's not invalidated. At least the next as Tango's joined back. I think it has though, isn't it? Yeah, so Mr. Elite unfortunately is invalidated. Listen, next Tango's in the pits and he's been kicked out of the session and is now joining back. Nunda's about to finish his lap to see what he can do in the other McLaren. Not sure what he's doing with his gears there, but that might cost him a bit of time. He's up to P3 though, so 1:19.3. Still a second off Rick Dalton at that time. Is absolutely monstrous. So Cowie and Mr. Elite are both invalid. And there we go, Denzo's on a 1:18.0. He'll be in a 1:17 soon. Crooksy on his lap, he's invalidated. Marvski's not far behind Crooksy coming into sector 3, and then Potstuff's also invalidated. He's on the straight just ahead of his teammate in the Renault. So we'll go on board with Marvski. Got a yellow flag, it's just for a couple of cars going slowly.
Well, I've sent him 3, so
I'd give him a couple of more just in case.
A couple more, yeah, right.
Oh, Marvski's mastered that. Final little chicane. He hasn't managed to invalidate, which a lot of drivers do. Unfortunately, the time's only a 1:20.8 low, so he's the slowest of the 10 runners that have set time so far. Cowie's about to cross the line to start another lap as he invalidated lap 1. Mr. Lee's had to do another lap, of course. It's so annoying when it invalidates Listen next. You feel you're just driving around a whole another lap because of one little thing. Tango is out on the track. Crooksy and Potstuff are both on another lap after invalidating their first attempt. Yeah, I know so far this season Denzo's got all pole positions, isn't he? He's won 5 of the races, all the races bar 1, but I do not think it's going to be that straightforward today. I might be wrong, and it might be because we know he is, you know, phenomenal, and he seems to get everything right no matter what the conditions. But with the conditions we're hearing, and with the track like this, and with it being a track he didn't finish at last year, I think today other drivers might be looking at it thinking there's a chance here. And Siege might be one of those because he's gone up to P2. He's just ahead of Rick Dalton now. And he's exactly a second quicker than Nunda. So those top 3 are really looking unbeatable at the moment as Potstuff goes up to P7. pushes Marsky down to the drop zone. Now we see Crooksy go up into P6. So both Renaults looking good at the moment. And now, who was that? I just set a time. It was Marvsky. So Marvsky does improve and he goes up to P9. Both Ferraris scraping into the top 10 at the moment. Serious Mushrooms in 12th. Sweet MJP down to 11th. Cowie invalidated its time.
Yeah.
Mr. Elite is about to come through the final chicane.
See what he can do.
And he keeps it validated too. So he's going to set this lap, Mr. Elite. Let's see what time he can do. He crosses the line. It's a 1:19.8. So he's just 5 thousandths off the Ferrari of Sam Swift. So yeah, Ferrari's just scraping ahead of Mr. Elite at the moment. He's going to need to improve to get through. It's just Cowie and Tango yet to set a time. And Tango is just behind Cowie on the track. Didn't see the sector times for either of them. But yeah, we'll watch Tango because then we can see Marv in front, Cowie in front as well.
He's once got these purple, but I don't know if that's correct.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything, does it? I don't know what that means on this game. Comes up purple, it doesn't mean best overall. No. But we see Cowie up in front. So once these two have crossed the line, everyone will have set a lap then. That's if they manage to cross the line without invalidating. They've both managed to get into sector 3 without invalidating, so that's a good start. Of course, it's the last corner though. Nunda saying he'll send Tango a couple of invites as well. Of course, he wants his teammate in as much as possible.
Yeah, I've sent him 5. He's got 5.
There we go. I should think he's got enough now. Thanks, Nunda.
See what
Cowie
can do,
keeps it validated. Tango also keeps it validated. Cowie's going to be first. Then what can he do? He's been on these for a couple of laps. He's up to P5, and Tango is up to P4.
P4. Great lap.
And look how close. There's 3 thousandths between Nunda and Cowie. But yeah, Tango's really put himself in the mix. And look at that top 4. It's just everyone's set a lap now. But look at the gap to the leader. We've really got a big 4 here, haven't we, so far today? Denzo, Siege, Rick, and Tango. And Denzo is the one who's just got that buffer in front. And Tango's up again.
Do what sweet MJP can do. Is that coming through?
There we go. Oh, he's invalidated his time.
Oh.
I wonder if he's just done that. He has as well, because the next lap's invalidated. It's a shame for him. But yeah, the top 4, they look pretty unbeatable. I mean, there's a huge gap down to the rest of the pack, and then the rest of the pack, there's just 7 tenths that separate 5th to 15th. So anyone Nunda and below could be going out yet. They've just got to get out there and set as many laps as possible. That's what I'd do. Nunda saying, what's your username, Tango? Look on the stream and it will tell you. I think that's probably the best way. If he's out on the track, I doubt he'll be typing at the same time. But Tango is on another lap here. Let's see what he can do, because he's got the pace here. He's up. And it's a good exit as well onto the straight. Tango could challenge Denzo's timing. Let's see what he can do. And he's just a bit slow. He gains a couple of tenths. He's only 2.5 tenths off Denzo now. So change this back. 1:18.2.
Just watching Rick Dalton now, see what he can do.
Where's Rick? Here he's on a lap, isn't he? Most cars are in the pits then. Tango's just still going around though. Rick is 2, and then Sweet MJP, who's invalidating. Serious Mushroom on a lap 2 in sector 3. So we'll watch Rick, and then it'll be Serious Mushroom straight after.
Is he going to improve?
Can he validate it? Yes, he's kept it.
Oh.
Bit slidey, but wouldn't have lost too much time.
Here.
This is looking good. It's looking good.
Yeah.
It's a 1:18.29, so he's gained a bit of time. But he's just below Tango still, so Tango's still got the bragging rights there. Serious Mushroom, he went up a couple of tenths, and he's gone into 1:19.8 as well. 4 cars in a 1:19.8. Half a tenth separate the Ferraris, Serious Mushroom and Mr. Elite. Sean's now on the track as well. He's now started a lap. Rick, I think, is going again. Tango's up again as well. He gets a good exit again. I think he was a tiny bit up too, so he might even get closer to Denzo here. And he does a 1:18.025. He's 7 thousandths off Denzo. He got that final turn perfectly, didn't he? And he's really close to Denzo, and that's both on 3 laps on those tyres as well. Rick's done the same amount. I think Rick might be up again though as well, and he's going to be next car again on another lap. So they're just practicing maybe for Q3 here. Dylan saying hashtag Tommy for pole. X5 Flappy saying, can I join? Absolutely. If you write down your PSN or your Discord name, and an admin will add you and contact you, and hopefully we can get you in. That'd be brilliant. Siege has retired his car in the pits, and he looks pretty sage, doesn't he? Let's see what Rick Dalton can do though. as he comes onto the straight.
Tidy around there.
Yeah, he's looking really tidy. Is he going to improve his time? He's in the 117s.
Wow.
Rick Dalton's the first driver to get in the 117s. 117.954. So maybe the track's drying up a tiny bit, or maybe they're just getting even better as they go around. And now it's really close between that top three. And then it's exactly a second between fourth and fifth with Siege and Nunda. But I'm sure Nunda's going to improve even more. We know he's the wet master, isn't he? Who's on a lap then? Serious Mushrooms on a lap. He's in sector 1. Denzo's retired and he's happy with his time. Sean is in P11. I'm not sure if he set that first time or not. But, yeah, oh, Mushroom went up to P8. Yeah, Mushroom went up to P8. We missed that, didn't we? Of course, he was down in between the two Ferraris. So, good lap there from Mushroom. And he's so close. Look how close it is between 5th and 9th. Between 5th and 9th. There's 0.018. 5,000th between 7th, 8th and 9th. That is incredibly close. And it goes all the way down to P15 as well. So we still have 5th to 15th for 2.5 minutes left. It's anyone's here. Bit difficult on the pad, yeah, definitely. I race on the pad myself. I do struggle on it. Depends. I think some tracks are better for the wheel, some tracks are better for the pad. I'm not very good at this track at all, so I'd say this is probably a wheel track, but I'm sure some users on a wheel would strongly disagree. Tommy's doing insane here, saying Welshman. I know he is, isn't he? He's really competing up there with some of the fastest drivers as well. Tommy in League 1, of course, he's really a contender for promotion, as we see Sean go up to P5, and he's a few tenths clear of this pack now, so that's a really good lap there from Sean. I'm sure he's going to keep going. And the next cars across the lines, we're going to get a McLaren. Nunda takes that place back. Then we've got a Renault, I think that's Pot Stuff. He goes up to P7 as well. And then the other McLaren, and that's Tango going for another lap. He's not managed to improve. He invalidated, unfortunately. And he has for this lap too. Sam Swift's going to be next then. So we have seen that gap to the top four come down a little bit thanks to Nunda, Sean and Pot Stuff have all improved. And they're all still close to each other. Let's see what Sam can do then. Comes onto the straight. And it's a 1:18.9, so Sam's even quicker than Nunda. He's top of that pack now in P5. Brilliant lap there from Sam. And Sweet MJP's improved. They're all improving by about the same amount as well. This is incredible. The field is so close here, apart from those top four.
Yeah, really close, isn't it?
Because there's still about a tenth and a half between now 5th and 9th, because they've all improved. But no one's standing out in that top bottom 10. Yeah, Sean's on the go again, isn't he? Let's see what he can do. We've got Ferrari next. Oh, no, that's Cowie's now starting his lap to Alfa Romeo. Oh, Sean's got a bit slidey there, coming out the final corner. Got a big snap at the rear end there, but he crosses the line, and he does improve again by a couple of attempts. P5 again, and he's going to get another lap in too, but he's got the red fuel gauge flashing, so he might have enough fuel, so he could be in trouble here still, Sean. Don't rule that out. Nunda's next, and he already gets ahead of Sean, and yes, he does go quicker. It's now 3 tenths up until the top ones, and Pot Stuff improves as well. He's up to P6, and Crooksy is now starting a lap as well. He's down in 13th at the moment, so last year's winner in trouble at the moment. That's Tango's retired in the pits. He is safe as well. Rick Dalton's going to be safe too. And then Pot Stuff, I'm not sure if Pot Stuff got damage there, but no, I think he's just getting out of the way of his teammate. Very sportingly there from him. Sam Swift is going again. I'm not sure if he's up on his time though. He might have just been saving up that lap for another run. Oh, he's missed it. He's missed the line, so he's out. He's in 8th at the moment. And Serious Mushroom, I think he's in the pits. Serious Mushroom's going to be out too. Sweet MJP in 9th, hasn't managed to improve. Young Tommy's invalidated his time, so he's going to be out, unfortunately, but still a fantastic effort from him. Who's going to be next to the cross line? It's going to be Marvsky, and he's invalidated too, so he's not going to be going through. Mr. Elite's going to be next. He's coming through the final corner now, onto the straight. What can Mr. Elite do on his debut? He now comes across the line, and he is only P15 for Mr. Elite. He couldn't improve.
Cowie's coming through.
Next is going to be Cowie. He's up to P9 ahead of Sweet MJP, and that is important. Oh, Sweet MJP's left the session, unfortunately. So he can't do anything. The only driver that can get out in this bottom 5 now is Crooksy, and Sweet MJP's the one in danger. And I think he really is in danger, unless Crooksy invalidates round here. And he hasn't. I think Crooksy's looking good, last year's winner. Can he knock Sweet MJP out? He comes across the line. Oh, he hasn't. Oh, look how close. That Sweet MJP is through, and Crooksy's out. I'm shocked there. I really thought he had enough to get through, but Sweet MJP manages to hold on in the end. Crooksy just couldn't find a time. Serious Mushrooms 2000 ahead of Young Tommy, and Marvsky and Mr. Elite are a bit further back in a 1:19.8. But Crooksy out in Q2, when we really thought it looked like he was going to be going through a quarter of a tenth. I think it's a quarter of a tenth exactly. My maths is right. Oh, very nearly. It's good enough. Sweet MJP scrapes through it, and when he joins back, if he'll realise that he's through. I wonder if he'll be as surprised as we are. That was a really good qualifying two there. Really enjoyed that.
Right, well
it's
done.
a shame that a few cars in the bottom 5 in the elimination zone did invalidate in the end. On when it really mattered, I think that's just the pressure getting to it there. And Tommy saying he was 4 tenths up and then lost it in the hairpin. Yeah, it's the pressure, isn't it? That's in the rain. The pressure is one little twitch, and that is it. You can lose a whole car. So Crooksy in P11, like we said, it's one track. As Dan Murphy will tell you, it doesn't really matter where you start. Well, of course it matters, but it's not the worst track to be starting towards the back. Definitely not. And yeah, in the end, don't read too much into the gap being close between these two. Of course, the top 4 were all sat in the pits and they didn't set a lap in the last 6 minutes of the session. So all the cars behind would have had more practice, they would have had more time and better conditions to do so. So don't think that gap's going to be as close in Q3, but then I've been wrong before. 200th between, yeah, there we go. It is exactly a quarter of a tenth between Sweet and Crooksy. But it's not even a consolation of free tyre choice, because everyone's going to have free tyre choice to begin the race as they to Q2 on the inters. Rick Dalton setting the pace then as we go for the Q3, my favourite part of the week. Oh, I'll have a quick read in the comments. Yeah, Serious Mushroom saying he and Tommy are 2,000th apart. We did mention that, and Serious Mushroom I think got ahead of Tommy, didn't he? So that was really good. Yeah, Theo saying he sent a request to Flappy. Thank you, Theo. He was worried he wasn't going to make it on the medium, saying Nanda. Not quite sure what he means there. No one's on the mediums, are they? Anyway, only
So he's going to go out first.
yeah, we got what's happened there? I was on best. We've got 3 teams with both cars through. As both Alfa Romeos are through, as you'd probably expect with Denzo and Cowie. Both McLarens through, Tango and Nunda. Both Haas cars are through, Siege and Sweet MJP. And we've got Potstuff in Renault, Sean in the Mercedes, Rick in the Racing Point, and then Sam in the Ferrari. But no Red Bull, no Alpha Tauri, no Williams either. So who's going to be first out? I think it is Rick, isn't it? Yeah, Rick is first out. Len Siege, Len Cowie, and then is it Tango? It is Tango. So the big 4 are the first 4 cars out. They want to get this done, don't they? Maybe, I'm not sure why everyone else is still in the pits, but well, they're getting really close there. Siege and Denzo. This is going to be great to see right from the off. Who's going to be the first driver quickest? Like we said before, when it is wet conditions, it doesn't matter as much which the first run is, because they're not just going to do 2 runs. They'll keep going lap after lap just to find more time. But you only get 3 sets of inters for the whole of qualifying, so maybe some of these use the same set in Q1 and Q2, and maybe got 2 sets available for Q3 saved. I'm not too sure what their situation's going to be, but you know, Rick Dalton's situation is that he was quickest in Q2 and he wants to challenge Denzo for this pole position, and he crosses the line to start his lap now. Bold prediction saying Dylan but Nunda for pole. Well, there's brave and then there's really, really brave. Yeah. Hashtag mushroom for the win, saying Young Tommy. Hashtag mushroom too slow for the sweat, saying mushroom. I'm too slow for mushroom in the races we do together, so he must know how I know how he feels. Hashtag mushroom for championship. No, not having that. He's too quick.
Yeah, I think he'll survive.
If Bradfield can put up a reserve in here, then anyone can.
That's it.
No, notice I've been using a helicopter view a lot more. Not helicopter view, but overhead view, as requested by someone in the comments a couple of weeks ago. Hope they're happy now. Hashtag mushroom has a bad day and will come back stronger next week, saying Young Tommy. Everyone has bad days. Apart from Denzo, he doesn't seem to, but he did in Canada last season, didn't he? Do like to look at lap view just as they come through the final chicane, and Denzo masks it. See, just put the wet. No, he's not. He's just winding us up. Let's see what he does. Then what's the time? It's a 1:18.3, so he's not near the 1:17s. Tango's going to be next. Is he going to be quicker than Rick Dalton? No, he's not, because that's Nunda crossing the line. Tango, oh, we're missing out now because Denzo's on a 1:18.2, and then the next car's going to be Siege. Came into the pits then, so Siege, not sure what happened on his outlap. Tango goes up to P3 of a 1:18.9, so he's quite a bit off the pace at the moment. Maybe the track's got a little bit slower because, and yeah, I think the rain is a bit heavier, isn't it? Yeah, it does look like rain's got heavier, hence why the times are a little bit slower, but Tango's well off Denzo and Rick now, but it is close between Denzo and Rick. Who's going to be next? I think it's going to be Cowie. Let's see what he can do. He's 4 tenths off Tango, so he's not quite got the pace at the moment. Sweet MJP is going to be next. Oh, he's got a horrible gearbox glitch. Close your ears.
Yeah, it's ranking.
But open your eyes, because that's a good lap from Sweet. 1:19.4. Sweet lap. Rick's not going again because he's invalidated. I think that's Nunda next. Yep, it is. Got it right this time. Liam saying I'll have what you're having, Dylan. Yeah, so as we predicted, this man we're on board with Nunda to be on pole position. Let's see. Come on. Do it for Dylan, Nunda. Oh, he really had to back off there. He went too deep, didn't he? I'd be surprised if he does anything to the pole position. He's up to P4 though. He's a good lap. He's ahead of Cowie and Sweet MJP, and he's only 2 tenths off his teammate. As we see, Sean got to P7. That's the slowest of the times we've seen set so far. And Dento's going really slow there across the line. You think he invalidated Listen next. He went for another one, then invalidated. Siege is going to cross the line to start his lap. Pot Stuff will be close behind him, and then yeah, Sam's invalidated. So Cowie, is he setting back to back? He is. Oh, he's invalidated Listen next though, so he's not going to be happy about that. Sweet MJP, I think he's going again. Well, look at the pace he's got, up to 200 miles an hour there. Oh, how's that not invalidated? But Cowie's before was. Oh, he's up to 3rd. Sweet MJP's up to 3rd. He really pushed it on the final corner, and that really helped him. Great lap there. He's broken the top 4. He's ahead of Tango. Siege hasn't set a lap yet. Yeah, Rick's on another lap now, so let's see what he can do. I just love it when it's inters in qualifying. So just constantly going, and none of this sitting in the pits waiting and only having 2 runs because of saving tyres. It's just go, go, go. I absolutely love it. Sure you do as well. What can Rick do? Oh, he's 3 thousandths quicker than Denzo. Where the hell's the lap data? There we go. He's 3 thousandths quicker than Denzo. He takes provisional pole back for him. Let's see what Sean can do. He's up on his lap, and he goes up to P5. He's in the 1:18s just. Next up's going to be Tango, and he's invalidated. Oh, he's invalidated. Listen next as well, and I think he's well up. He's well up on his time as well, so Tango's going to
he was about 4 tenths
save up.
He?
Yeah, he was, and of course he's slower than the first 2. But Siege goes up to P3, and Haas are 3 and 4 at the moment. It's looking really good for them. Pot Stuff goes up to P9, which is the slowest of the times at the moment, but still a decent lap. Sam's going to be the final one to set a time. He's got really wobbly there coming out the final corner. See what Sam is going to be slow from Sam. It's a 1:20.9, and he backs off as well, so I think he's going to be coming into the pits at the end of this lap and refueling. But everyone's had a run now. Not sure if anyone's actually still on a lap. I don't think anyone is. Is Rick on another lap? Rick's invalidated. I think he's low on fuel as well, so I think he'll be coming in now. I think they will have a bit of a break now. Siege definitely won't have a break. He's on another lap.
I think Sam Swift's on another lap.
We could have a different pole sitter here. Denzo's been on pole 6 races so far this season. We could have a different pole sitter because Siege is up. We know Tango's got a lot of pace left in the bag, and Rick Dalton at the moment is 3 thousandths quicker. He did an extra lap than Denzo did. This is another race where Denzo won't have pole, so in Serious Mushroom. Anyone know if the race is dry or wet? Tommy, did you not check? We've been hearing that it's yeah, that first corner, that first right-hander, it lets you have more of the curb, but the second one it doesn't. Let's see what Siege does. Provisional pole for Siege is 2 tenths quicker than Rick and Denzo. Siege back up there, showing the form he had at the beginning of last season. As Pot Stuff unfortunately invalidates. Sam's going to be next, but comes into the pits. So there we go, we have got a big break now. Up to Tango, we're going board with his lap. Oh, he's taken the grass there though. Not sure if he's lost too much time from it though. Yeah, so Tommy, it's a Dry start we're hearing, and it's going to be light rain in the middle of the race and then potentially dry towards the end.
The light rain, is that borderline between, is he going to stay on the dry?
You should have checked that before. You're driving the race,
it said dry
not
for me. Jeff told me it was dry all race.
It's not what Jeff tells you. You got to look at the blimmin' weather data.
That's what I looked at the weather data. It's dry, no rain at all.
How can you see? You're not in the garage.
Well, at the start, I don't know.
Oh, it's probably changed it.
I did, but
Tango then.
I can't do it right.
Let's see what he does. Can he get? He's 5 tenths off of Rick and Denz at the moment. I think he's going to improve, but how much by? He doesn't improve. He does improve, but only by 8 thousandths. He's got plenty of fuel on board. We see him go on the grass in sector 1. He's got plenty of fuel on board. So I think he's going to keep going. It'll be borderline if he's coming to the pits, whether he'll make it back out again. There is an advantage here in the sense that you cut out the first corner when you come out of the pit, so it does save a bit of time. It's not as time costly as it is some other tracks. Pretty similar to Vietnam, really. But yeah, Tango's on a lap. Siege is invalidated this time, and he's out of fuel, I think, as well. So I don't think Siege is going to be setting any more laps. I think Siege might be done. Let's have a look at his teammate, Sweet MJP. Has he just... No, he's not just improved again, is he? He's in P4 still. But he is going for another lap. Rick Dalton on out lap, he's about to start it. Where did he invalidate? No, it's fine, he's alright. It wasn't on the final corner. Cowie, that's not Cowie. Denzo's close behind Rick. Where did he invalidate his out lap? Did he invalidate on the final corner? No, he didn't as well. He's good. We've got a yellow flag. It's run out from McLaren going slowly. I think that's Nunda. He's only on the out lap though. Tango, well, it's such a quick lap, isn't it? Tango's already there again. Is this a lap for Tango where he can draw himself up to the top? Yes, he can, and to the very top as well. Tango takes provisional pole position. He's 15 hundredths of a second quicker than Siege. Siege, who is in the pits, and I don't think he's going to have time to get out either. So Tango looks like he's going to be starting ahead of Siege. Can he find even more time yet, though? Rick and Denzo both still on their laps, still validated too. Sam across the line to start his lap. Cowie's up on his time. Where can Cowie go? He's up to P6. Good lap there from Cowie. Next is going to be Mercedes. Sean, he's on an out lap. Yeah, Siege retired in the pits. Sean now starts his lap. Next up is going to be Nunda, who's now starting his lap. Sweet MJP's next. Can he improve? No, he can't. He's down his time about 4 tenths, but he is going to be going again. Racing points next, and we're around to Rick Dalton. Looks pretty tentative for the final corner. I don't think he's going to improve here, Rick Dalton. No, he's not. He's a long way off the mark. I don't think he made a mistake, or he's just saving it up for this lap. Denzo is well up. Denzo is definitely up on his time. Let's see what he does when he crosses the line. It's a 1:17.4, and he just shuts us all up, doesn't he? And he shuts everyone else up too. 1:17.4. It's an absolute monstrous lap. He was saving it for the end, but Tango is up as well. How much is he up by, though? As he comes through and crosses the line, it's a 1:17.8. He gains even more time. He's still 4 tenths off Denzo, though. Good lap there from Tango. Rick Dalton, can he get any closer to Denzo? He's 8 tenths off at the moment, and only 4.5 tenths clear of Sweet MJP. So the gap between the top 4 to the rest, it is smaller than I thought it'd be. So fair play to the rest of the pack for upping their game. My throat's starting to go. Sam Swift invalidated again, unfortunately, but he is going to have one more go at it. Nunda, this is going to be his final run as a checkered flag falls now. So Pot Stuff's in the pit, so he's not going to improve. This is Nunda's final run. What can Nunda do? Well, I'm sorry to tell Dylan, he's not on pole, but he is up to 7th. Sean's in the pits, he's down in 8th. Pot Stuff in 9th, and so Sweet MGP could go up to 7th here at least. Rick Dalton's going to come across the line in a minute. He goes through the final chicane, keeps it validated. He's not pushed it too hard. Can he at least get that place back from Tango? Because Tango's not going to set another lap. Rick Dalton takes P2. He sneaks ahead of Tango, so there we go then. It looks all done, doesn't it? Because Tango's not going to set another time. Neither's Rick, neither Siege. It's only Cowie, and Cowie's invalidated his time. Sam Swift is still on his time. He's last across the line. Denzo comes into the pits. It looks all done then, but we have just got to wait for Sam Swift for confirmation of it. He's at the moment 2 seconds off the pace. He's not had a good lap so far in this session, but this one looks the best of him so far. All Nunda's tyres were used. Big thanks for letting young Tommy race. No problem, young Tommy. He's been, like we said earlier, he's been on standby the last couple of races. It's great to have him finally back in. Racing in the Premier League. and he showed his pace so far. I was hoping he'd do the same in the race as well. Sam Swift then is a good exit, really neat through there, and I'm sure he's going to improve here. And he goes up to P8 as Sam, and Tango then, who invalidated his lap, will cross the line anyway, but Sam up into P8, so there's a good lap there under the pressure. He's 4 thousandths off Nunda as well, so unlucky in a way as well. But Denzo is the man. He takes pole position. Even when it looked like he weren't going to get it for a minute, he just blasts it by 4 tenths in the end. Quality lap from Denzo. Rick will start second. Tango in third and Siege in fourth. I'm sure they'll both be a bit disappointed. It's not more than that after they both took provisional pole at some stage in this session, but they can't complain with third and fourth. And those top 4 have been the top 4 the whole lesson. Oh. Yeah, the top 4 is incredible. Well done, a sweet MJP as well. I don't know where that lap came from. It's really good. Two and a bit tenths between the bottom 5. And sweet MJP just managed to race away from them. And he's going to be starting up in P5. So a really good effort from him there. Haas starting 4th and 5th. Looking good for them. Good luck all, saying Serious Mushroom, especially TCG. Of course, there's his teammate Sean. He's going to be starting 9th, and Mushroom, I think, in 12th, I think it was. And Venosa, Potstuff, and Crooksy in 10th and 11th. Oh my god, Denzo, Nunda was saying. And Tango saying, thought I'd bottled that length, but I think Tango said he set a fantastic lap. It's great to see him finally not get kicked from his lap, from a good lap. Let's wait for the cars to select their strategies now. I think we're going to see a real mix here, depending on how long the rain's going to be. It's blue skies at the moment. Like we said, if it goes 10 minutes until rain, the cars will be alright in the softs. If it's 20 minutes until the rain, I think the softs will struggle to go that long, obviously. So I do think we'll see most go for the mediums. It's just who's going to really go for it. And the cars on the softs will be hoping for a safety car, of course, to slow things up. It's mediums for Denzo. We can see the leader of the race. Oh, Mr. Elite's gone for the hards. The Mr. Elite's on hards, and apart from that, is a real mix-up between softs and mediums. Both Haas drivers have gone on the soft, so they're going to be aggressive at the start. They're going to want to make up positions. We've got 1 on the hards, 8 on the softs, 11 on the mediums. It's again another positive of having a wet quali, well Q2 at least, is that you can choose your tyres that you start on the race with, and it just makes it so exciting. There's different strategies everywhere, all over the grid, whereas normally you see that the whole top 10 starting on mediums, apart from 1 or 2 that scrape through on softs. So it's good to see. We're going to see a real attack from Siege and Sweet MGP, and when you do see cars start on the soft tyres, usually they're quite worn from quali already, so they're not really at their freshest of life. But Siege and Sweet MGP, I really want to keep an eye on these 2 Haas drivers. We've got to watch out for Crooksy.
15 minutes away, rain, but
if it's 15 minutes till rain, I think the cars have made a great call out on the softs. I know it's deceiving when you look at the sky and see it's all blue, but it can change so quickly in Canada. But yeah, I want to really watch out for these Haas drivers here. Guess who's here? Hello, saying welcome Maldonado. Cryptic's here. Just in time for the race. You've missed an absolute treat during quali. I'd recommend going back and watching through all of that. That'd keep me entertained. I'd rather that than watch the football tomorrow. Especially the way we're playing at the moment. Oh, is that those cars go? I'm not sure if the Renaults were ghosting there. I don't know if that's just because they're going through each other. Yeah, it was. That's fine. I was thinking they'd both been kicked then for a minute. No, that's fine. Just because they were going through. Oh, I can't wait to get this race started. Medium's right choice, saying Liam. We got lights, of course, but we got no cars revving up yet. Now the cars are revving up then. Denzo's going for it. Lights are out then, and away we go in Canada. It's a good start from Denzo. He covers off his teammate, not his teammate, his brother Rick, and they keep side by side. And the Haas driver is Siege as well. He's got some great grip on those soft tyres. They all keep it nice and orderly as they go through there. And the McLaren and Nunda's making contact with Cowie. He's trying to go around the outside, and they're side by side here. That never really works, going side by side there. And Nunda's been pushed past by Cowie, and he's under pressure now from Sam as well, but he is on the soft tyres, and Mr. Elite and Bradfield are pushing it out down for P14 too. We're going ball with them down the back of the field. Oh, and Bradfield's really late on the brakes there. I'm not sure if he's pushed from behind. And Sweet MJP's gone. He's spun around. I'm not sure if he's got damage, but he must have made contact with the car further up the field. And Chaz has had a crash too. Chaz has just lost it by himself, I think, there, and gone into the wall. So Sweet MJP passes him. We'll go back on board with the action. We've got yellow flag, there's no cars. And Cruxy's had a crash. Cruxy's gone. Who's that with? Cruxy and Dan Murphy have had an incident there. They're both cars have got damage, I think. Nunda and Sam Swift are side by side too. Nunda overtakes him, well, keeps the place for P6. Yellow flags in two areas where there's no cars. I'm not sure what that's about.
Mark's glitching a little bit there, I don't know.
The 4 cars at the back. Keeps giving us yellow flags for nothing. 4 cars at the back. Sweet MJP, Chazza, Crooksy and Dan Murphy. They all made contact with each other as we now see Potstuff get past Sam. He's on the soft tyres. He's going for it on Nunda too. Nunda doesn't leave enough room there, but he had every right to go for that. All 4 cars at the back. Different collisions they were involved in, but they all lost out there. Not quite sure what happened exactly in Siege. Oh, Young Tommy's getting past Sean. Great move there from Young Tommy. He's really going for it on these soft tyres. Good to see. He's up to P9. He's looking to get promoted to the Championship for next season. He's shown that he can do it in the Premier League so far. And he's still on a Siege as we go on board with Siege. And when DRS comes out the next lap, I think Siege is going to really want to try and get past, isn't he? But when it's still blue skies, so he might want to try and hang back and hold on to his tyres. But Tango is really struggling on these mediums. He can't keep up with Denzo and Rick. And he's under big pressure from Siege now. And Siege might try and get past him here. He's got much better exit. He's got much more grip on those tyres. Is he going to use his ERS here? He's going to go for it. He's got the pace, isn't he? Tango leaves the room and he easily gets past Tango. And now Siege is going to go flying up to these top 2. He just needs to make these tyres last until the rain comes. And Tango's going to be under pressure from Cowie as well. Cowie's had a great start. Denzo sets the fastest lap. Nunda's under pressure from Potstuff. Potstuff's doing really well. He's carrying the baton for Renault at the moment after last season's winner had an incident early on. Potstuff takes a bit too much like Kerbler. He's lost out to Nunda there. He's managed to pull away, and now Sam and Young Tommy and Sean and put him under pressure. Sean and Mushroom 10 and 11 both on the mediums to the Mercedes. Mr. Elite in 12. He's gained a couple of places on the hard tyres. Good start there. So he's holding up Bradfield now, and Marvsky and Jay Story behind. Jay Story doing really well. He's got ahead of Farf as well, Jay Story. Farf's in P16 on the medium tyres. Here's Sweet MJP and Crooksy further back. Chazza and Dan Murphy both had to pit, I think. So unfortunate for them, whoever went at one. Farf wasn't behind Jay Story for long though, because he's now got past. And Siege has not managed to claw away from Tango yet, and now Tango's got DRS. The Siege isn't putting up, and Rick Dalton's going down the left hand side of Denzo. And Rick Dalton takes the lead of the race. He takes the lead going down into the final corner. And he gets the DRS still because the activation line before the straight is for both DRS zones. He sets the fastest lap too as Bradfield's getting past Mr. Elite. Have a quick look at that, and that is before the final chicane. And again, as you can see, Bradfield gets the DRS. The Siege really isn't catching up to the top 2 at the moment. Maybe did make the wrong choice starting on the softs, but at least it got in the position off Tango. That could be big towards the end of the race. But Rick Dalton and Denzo, they might start to lose time fighting each other, but we know obviously they are. There's brotherly love going on there because Denzo didn't fight that too hard. And Rick Dalton actually looks quicker at this stage of the race as well. In the racing point, it's just flying along at the moment, and Denzo's sliding a bit there too. So Rick's pulled about 6/10 out. And yeah, Siege, I'm not sure if these soft tyres are starting to go off already, but he's falling back. Maybe they've switched, maybe they're racing for each other. No, that's not nice to say to Rick that, because he's having a fantastic race at the moment. It's Potstuff. He goes diving down Nunda there. He's gone too wide. It's Dan Murphy's got a penalty. Potstuff keeps the place, but Nunda is going to have... He's not going to have DRS. Potstuff's got that for some reason. And they're going to go side by side. This is not a corner to go side by side. And yeah, Nunda very sensibly backs off there. Lets Potstuff have the place. And Siege and Tango are fighting again, and Siege is getting passed by Tango, and he's getting passed by Cowie too. Where did Cowie come from? I'm not sure if Siege had a wobble on the exit at the final corner, but he got swamped by Tango and Cowie there. 2 cars on the mediums, and the soft runners really have lost out here, haven't they? Marvsky, J Story and Sweet MJP right at the back. Obviously I know Sweet had an incident early on. 3-second time penalty for Sean, the second driver to do that after we see Dan Murphy get one early on. He's battling with Chazza Dan for P19 at the moment. And Pot Stuff, I'm sure he got a warning there. But yeah, Cowie's really pushed himself and made this top 4 and top 5, hasn't he? And Denzo is catching back up to Rick though. Cowie has got a 3-second penalty. The penalties do usually let him down, as Sean's getting back past young Tommy. Good move there. Didn't see it again, but it was a good place to manage to get the move done. Nunda really going to be under pressure from Sam Swift, but he's going to have DRS from Pot Stuff. We see Rick Dalton getting passed by Denzo. Dalton returns a favour to Denzo, then the same place as he got past a couple of laps ago. And they're not losing time from fighting each other, that's the thing as well. I'm sure Siege is going to regret starting the hards now, but obviously I thought it was a good decision. I mean, see, the clouds are getting darker now, so surely it's not too long to the rain. They've just got to hold on, these soft runners, until it happens. We I think Sloth did 13 laps on the softs, and they were dead at the end as well, and I think he was backing off, saving them too. But yeah, I think anything over 10 laps on these soft tyres and you're really going to start to struggle. But he's not falling back off Lees at all, not too much anyway. Still within DRS range, Siege. And Tango, it's still about 3 seconds off the top 2, Denzo and Rick. Good to see Rick's really having a go at it though. And yeah, Cowie, we did say this last year, he came second, didn't he, in the standings. And him and Siege were first and second the first half of the season. So first half, as Farf gets the penalty, and Denzo took over the second half. And Cowie's downfall, he got more penalties than anyone else around him, and that did cost him a lot on some races. And Denzo hit the wall there. I think it was just his rear right that hit the wall, not the wing, which he'll be relieved about. And Serious Mushrooms now getting past young Tommy too, and young Tommy backs out of that one there. Serious Mushroom gets the move done. Young Tommy on the stops, and he's falling down now as well. Sweet MJP's getting past Jay Story after the early incident, which we didn't see, so we don't know what happened there, but obviously unfortunate for him. And Dan Murphy and Chazza there just battling for P19. They're pit stop down at the moment, but they know anything can happen here, and they just got to focus now until the rain. And what, hopefully for them they all want a safety car. Pot Stuff gets a 3-second penalty too, and this is what makes Denzo and Rick quality too. They very rarely get many penalties. A track like this, that's important. Crooksy's closing up now on Jay Story, down for P17. He's got the DRS. I think Jay Story got past Farf, didn't he, early on, so he must have had a good start, Jay Story, further back. Of course, the soft tyres, you will have a better start, much more grip. And Siege is now out of DRS range, and Cowie's having a go at Tango here. Much better racer than qualifier, Cowie. Definitely going to say that. I think he has a lot of assists on, just from when I look through his time trial time, so that's probably one of the reasons why. Which is, I tend to find out as well. Crooksy does get past Jay Story on the straight in sector 3. But yeah, I tend to find out. I'm fast getting past Bradfield here for P12 on the straight. Next up for fast young Tommy. I'm sure they're both going to be looking to swamp young Tommy soon, because he is on the soft tyres. And there's a train forming up behind Pot Stuff in P6. Had a great start. We haven't looked at position change yet. There we go, so we can see it. Pot Stuff gained 4 places. There we go. He's gained from Nunda, Sam and Sean, as well as Sweet MJP, who was ahead after the incident. But Pot Stuff now forming a bit of a train, because these soft tyres are starting to wear off. Nunda's on the softs himself though, but Sam's going to be looking really good here. Let's go back to it. He's got that horrible gearbox glitch, Nunda. So sorry Nunda, but we can't go on board with that. It's hurting my ears, as I'm sure it is all yours who are watching as well. I won't read out the emojis Liam's put in the comments, but we know what it means. Siege 1.8 off Cowie, 1.9, 2 seconds. He's really struggling. He wants the rain to come as soon as possible, Siege. And Tango's still giving Cowie his DRS, and Farf does get past young Tommy now. I think Bradfield's going to be closing up soon as well. Young Tommy won't have DRS, but Bradfield has a lovely exit there from Bradfield too, and I think he's got a challenge here. I just think he's a tiny bit too far back.
Yeah.
He is, yeah, and he has to back off there. It's nearly 4 seconds now between Rick and Tango, but Rick's really keeping up with Denzo still. Staying in the DRS range is really going to help Rick and Denzo clear the pack behind them, and Tango, Cowie and Siege. A lot of drivers, obviously, if they're fighting each other, they'd lose time, but these two are very sensible. It's a very pacey track, really, so it's not one you'd lose too much time unless it's through Sector 1, start of Sector 2, but they're sensible to each other. They let each other through as well, and young Tommy has just been passed by Bradfield in the DRS zone in Sector 2 as Fav's got another penalty as well. He's up to 6 seconds now. He's in P11. He's a second ahead of Bradfield. He's a second off Serious Mushroom as Rick Dalton, and there we go. Gets back past Denzo on the straight. The lead changes hands yet again, and this is the closest Rick's got to Denzo all season. And we've really got a bat in our hands here. Potstuff's got a 5% point for speed in the pit lane. He's had to pit. The tyres are gone. Siege is in the pits too. They can't hold on any longer. Are they going to put... They're putting on mediums. Is the rain going to come then? Is that a sign that we're not going to get rain? It is darker in the skies, but I understand if they've got absolutely no more grip left on those tyres, but if it's going to rain soon at least, they'd have put the softs on again. Are they taking a chance on there being no rain in this race then? We heard Bradfield say apparently there's going to be no rain, which was contradictory to what we heard in the comments, but we'll see then. Denzo's closing up to Rick again. Jay Story gets a 3-second time penalty. Siege has come out in traffic. Look, he's come out behind his teammate Sweet MJP, but Crooksy's there too. Crooksy's going to get past him now. I'm sure Sweet's going to let his teammate pass him too. They've got to be careful here, though. They've got to be careful they don't make contact with each other. And Sweet MJP, there we go. He does get out of the way for his teammate. Very sensible of him there. Rick managed to stay ahead of Denzo as well. They now go down to turn 1 and 2, and they still are in that order. And Tango's still getting caught by Cowie, but not being overtaken. And Siege is now getting past Crooksy too on those fresh mediums. And Marvsky's in the pits. So Siege gets another position back there. Mr. Elite's now catching Young Tommy. Young Tommy still no softs, and Young Tommy's got wing damage too, and that is going to be affecting him. I don't know where he's got the damage from, but Mr. Elite gets past him too on those hard tyres. So maybe Mr. Elite's played a blinder here, going on the only car on the hard tyres. He might be able to last, hoping there's rain coming at the end. Sean and Mushroom now 7th and 8th, and they're catching up to Nunda as Tango gets a 3-second penalty. Sweet MJP and Marva in the penalties, and it's still not raining, is it? I don't think this rain's going to come quite as early as we think, if at all. Denzo's catching up to Rick again. Look how much ERS Denzo saved up. Rick has used a lot more ERS, and maybe that's why Rick's been put under a lot of pressure. Oh, they're getting really close, and Denzo does sensibly back off in the end. Is he going to have another challenge here on the straight? See, that's where Denzo lost time. You can see Tango going a good few attempts there, make that 4 attempts because of how they had to brake. Half a second even now as Cowie gets another penalty, and Nunda's now getting passed by Sean. And Nunda, he's not coming in the pits, he's going to keep going. He's going to start sliding. You can see how much time they're losing now. The cars that started on the softs, they're all down the back now. As Bradfield gets his first 3-second penalty. He's going to challenge Farf here though. He's going to go down the inside. Farf's got wing damage. So mate, I think Farf must have had a collision with Young Tommy, possibly banging wheels at least, because they're the two with wing damage as Siege now gets past Young Tommy as well. So the top 6 playing it safe as it stands. The medium tyres, 11 laps. If it rains within the next couple of laps, or even now, they'll be happy with that. Unless obviously they don't like the rain, but Siege challenging Mr. Elite. Now you should think this will be a relatively simple move, and I think Siege is going to get it done here. Mr. Elite's got wing damage. So there's quite a few cars out there with wing damage. I'm not sure if it's been carried from the start of the race. Bradfield's now getting close to Farf too. But yeah, Tommy, Farf and Mr. Elite all got minor wing damage, all missing an end plate, which is horrible to race at, especially at Canada. Canada's probably the worst track for it. As we see Potstuff and Young Tommy now side by side. Young Tommy just got no grip on those tyres at all now. And are we seeing spits of rain? Tango, oh no, Tango's left to say he's got his first penalty, and we are seeing rain. So Siege, Or maybe it's only going to be light rain, so maybe the cars are just going to carry on through this on these dry tyres. Bradfield not close enough to Farf. Then he's got Siege coming up behind him as well. And Cowie's now getting past Tango. Tango won't fall back as much as the AIs are on 80 though. And Siege really being held up by this battle from Farf and Bradfield. And young Tommy's in the pits. He's gone for the inters now. I'm not sure he's ready for inters, but he just felt we had to pit. And Bradfield's really got a mind out with Siege behind him here. I know he wants to get past Farf because Farf's really struggling with his wing damage. I think he's going to go side by side with Farf here.
I just can't do it.
He's not got the pace, has he? And yeah, Siege really getting held up. Well. Mr. Elite's now closing up to this battle too. Pot Stuff is even closer
Siege
behind
just
now.
Overtake me on the straight.
I think he wants it done here. Siege going around the outside them. And that is why he went for the move there. Bradfield backs off. He's going to be under big pressure from Pot Stuff now though. And Siege is looking like he's going to get moved on Farf here too. Sweet MJP's got a penalty, but Siege does get up to P9. So maybe if this rain's only going to be light enough for cars to stay on these tyres, maybe Siege has played the blinder here by pitting early for the mediums and abandoning that strategy. Nanunda's done 13 laps on these soft tyres. That's an incredible achievement from him. But he's really struggling. Serious Mushroom and Sean both ahead of him now, and Nanunda's going to start falling back. Watch Siege rapidly close up. He's just gained half a second the time I've been talking. Sweet MJP's getting past Dan Murphy with P17, and Dan Murphy's in the wall. Has he got wing damage from that? I don't know if he went side by side and made contact with Sweet MJP. He's got no damage from it.
Oh, spun.
Bradfield has... Oh, he's spun it. Has he got wing damage?
No.
No, he hasn't. And Tango's left again. Oh, no. And, of course, that's when all our times go off the screen. Crooksy gets passed by Bradfield. Mr. Elite's got a 3-second penalty. So let's see the gap, how close it is between the top two. They both stay out. Rick's still in the lead. Cowie's not too far back. He's looking really good for Alfa Romeo at the moment. And they're starting to slide a bit, aren't they?
Yeah,
Tango, come on, come on. Why does it do it to him? Such a shame. Sam's doing really well in P5. He's going to start catching up to Tango now as well. And Siege is getting past Nunda. His tyres are shot and he's staying out. Is he going to do a soft medium strategy then if the rain's not going to be enough for inters? Two cars on inters, young Tommy and Jay Story. They're both falling back even more. It's not time for inters. They're really going to lose out because of that. Alpha Tauri not looking too good at the moment then, right down the back of the field in 18th and 19th. I think Dan Murphy's had 2 incidents, one at the start, and we just see that one there. I think he might have made contact with Sweet MJP. Pot Stuff's catching up to Farf here, and he's going to get the move done. Farf's really struggling with the wing down. I think he's lost both end plates now, Farf. He's on these medium tyres. I think he's going to have to come in soon. Yeah, he's got really big wing damage. He's missing both end plates, Farf. He's going to have to come in this lap. He can't carry on like that. He's got his teammate coming up behind him. Crooksy's coming up behind his teammate, and Crooksy gets past his teammate. It's a good move there from Crooksy. Mr. Elite. Little love tap there in the back of Crooksy. Sweet MJP's now coming out of the pits on the inters as well. I just don't think... I'm not sure we're ever going to get to this inter stage in the race, especially with it drying up soon as well. I think it might just be a shower for a bit as Bradfield... Who spun?
Crooksy had a little spin there.
Crooksy getting wobbly, but he's still ahead of Mr. Elite there. But Mr. Elite is going to be challenging, and Crooksy's still got DRS from the car in front, which was Farf. Joined the inspector and stayed there, saying Tango. Oh, so he had to join back. Oh, why does it do that? Oh, Crooksy's made a contact with the wall, and Nunda's now in the pits. He's putting the inters on. I thought he would have gone for mediums, but he thinks it's wet enough. The times from the cars at the back say otherwise. As Mr. Elite's really under pressure from Bradfield now. What's your idea? It's really. What's your idea for strategy now then? As Nunda's in the pits, Farf's in the pits. So he thinks it's time for inters. As we see Nunda, I think he's just come out the pits. Oh, he's really wide there. He's going to be under pressure now from Marv. And Marv backs off though. This is a really entertaining race. Absolutely loving this. Siege is back up in the P8 then, and he's catching up to Serious Mushroom now. I think he's going to get him on the straight. It is getting heavier. The rain's definitely getting heavier, which Siege won't be happy about because he's going to have to pit again. Down from P8. Mercedes are looking really good at the moment, up to P6 and 7. If everyone's going to have to come in for inters. Let's see Nunda's time catching up to Bradfield. Cowie's got a 5-second penalty speed in the pit lane. It's a difficult pit lane, let alone with the rain. And I think we might start to see cars going on the inters now. Nunda's got a 3-second penalty. Siege is coming back in the pits. Yeah, he's DRS disabled. So it's a perfect time to do it. It's definitely inters time. And Denzo and Rick, they might struggle on this lap on the mediums. And I wonder if Cowie and Tango can close up to them. It is now time for the inters. Mr. Elite's got a penalty speed in the pit lane. He's going to come in and put the inters on too. Most cars are in the pits now. Cowie's already on the inters and he's coming up to Serious Mushroom now. He's going to go down the inside. Serious Mushroom, he's just not got the grip to even fight it. How close? Look at the time. Look at the time Cowie's gaining on the top two. And yeah, Denzo's really struggling more than Rick. And Rick's gone really wide. Rick's gone really wide. They're going to lose out huge time here. Cowie's really closing up. He's closed up half a second in the last 10 seconds or so. Oh, Denzo's hit the wall. Denzo's hit the wall. He's just slid on the straight. He's got huge wing damage. Denzo's hit the wall. He's going to have to change that wing. And this really throws a spanner into the works because Rick's now looking really good for the race. Cowie could come out. He could be ahead of Denzo when he comes out the pits. He's got to change that wing. He just dropped it going through the gears on the straight. Huge wing damage. Going to have to change his wing. Mushroom's going to have to come in as well. How close is Denzo going to be to Tango? That's the thing. Tango's going to get past Serious Mushroom as Serious Mushroom's got to pit. Surely, I'm sure Sam will as well. Oh, Tango, no, he's left the session again. The driver has gained out. Nunda's getting past Sam. There we go, he's done it. And Cowie is getting past Denzo as Denzo now comes out of the pits. Cowie is going to be in front. He is by a few seconds. And Tango's Ghost is going to be close too. But Denzo's lost a position. He's out 10 seconds off the lead as well. Sean's played an absolute blinder. He did in Canada last year. And Cowie's got another 3-second penalty low. So that hands that position straight back. He's got 14 seconds of penalties, Cowie. That's such a shame. Because that's what we say when when something does go wrong for him. He's got that. At least so he doesn't get penalties. And Farf's getting close to Bradfield here. We've still got all 20 cars running, which is brilliant to see. And yeah, it's definitely helped Chazza out as well, because he's up into P14 now. And yeah, Mercedes done really well to climb through the field. We were saying Sean did brilliantly last year, of course, avoiding the penalties. He's got a penalty here though. It is only 3 seconds though. He managed to get P3. And he obviously loves his tracks. He's up into P5. Gains only 4 places, but even still, he's played the strategy unbelievably. Tango saying FFS, but keep calm. Absolutely, Tango. Serious Mushroom's getting past Nunda. Tango needs to keep calm. There's serious points up for grabs here. Even with the couple of times he's been disconnected, he's still in P4. And yeah, he's still losing a lot of time. Maybe something we can bring up at the admin meeting tomorrow is maybe even further increasing the AI speed that it goes around. It's currently at 80 for Premier League, but I think these drivers are a lot quicker than that anyway, so maybe we can look at bringing it up even more. I'm sure that definitely benefit Tango at least. No, Denzo saying Dylan, yeah. Denzo obviously not having the easiest time of it out here, is he? Of course, it played really well into Siege's hand in the end. He's managed to recover that 6th position from it, and he's chasing up to Sean now as well. But he literally came in the pits the second it came up saying DRS disabled, and that is the second where you know it's time for the wet tyres. But yeah, of course, Rick and Denzo had already passed the pit lane when it came up saying DRS disabled, so they took a whole lap in effectively wet conditions on the dry tyres. That's why they lost time. It's not mattered for Rick too much because he's away in the distance, isn't he? He's quite clear in front, and then Cowie can't even see him up in front with all those penalties he's got too. And Denzo is closing back up to Cowie as well. I'm sure Cowie won't be fighting that too hard when Denzo does get there, if he does go for the move. But he's had to use so much ERS to try and catch back up as well. He's definitely frustrated, Denzo. Tango 3.6 clear of Sean and Siege. Yeah, Sieges are in 7 tenths now as well. Of course, it's difficult to overtake in the wet conditions just because of having no DRS. Nunda catching up to Serious Mushroom. Serious Mushroom's got no penalties, and Nunda is 7 seconds clear of Bradfield. Bradfield's done really well to get up to P9. He's obviously with us in the commentary box, but he's very much focused on this race. He's focused on keeping this P9 because he's got a big train, well, not big train, he's got 2 cars formed up behind him, Farf and Potstuff as well. Farf is on 9 seconds, Potstuff on 6, Bradfield only on 3, so if he does lose the places, it's not the worst thing in the world. He just needs to avoid getting any more penalties. Don't know how Jake kept a straight face there. Very professional. Not quite sure what that was for, but. And fresh mediums, if they're very well looked after, can do 25 laps. So yeah, medium soft is possible. Liam's saying there. And Siege has got a 3-second penalty as well, and that's his first one. He rarely gets penalties, so it's definitely difficult conditions. He wants to get past Sean as soon as possible here. And Denzo does get past Cowie. He does it on the straight. Jay Story speeding the pit lane, gets a penalty. And Denzo's weaving there, trying to warm up the tyres. Favre's got another 3-second time penalty and trying to get past Bradfield. Denzo's up to P2 now. He's got 10 seconds to chase up to Rick. But with Cowie having 14 seconds of penalties, it really gives an opportunity to tango Sean and Siege. Now, if Siege can get past Sean, he could still be on for a podium here. But Cowie, you've got to say, after looking nowhere near it in qualifying, I know we said how he's better in the race than qualifying, but he's had a fantastic race here so far. Jay Story's quite far back, but he's got a 3-second penalty. He's on the inters now. I don't know if he got wing damage. Oh, it looked like he's going to go flying to the wall there. I think that's just a glitch. Yeah, AlphaTauri, such a shame for young Tommy. Had a brilliant quali, great start to the race. I think the strategy did play him up a bit, and he had wing damage too. Sweet MJP in 17th. Of course, after that early incident, that's not helped him. But he's in a battle of his own now. Young Tommy's in the pits again. I'm not sure he must have wing damage, otherwise I don't think he'd be pitting. Yeah, there's a wing, there's a nose cone ready for him there as well. No, he's just changing the tyres. I'm not quite sure why he pitted then, young Tommy. But he has done anyway, and the gap is still about the same between the top two. So Denzo, I think that's the thing that's getting Rick. Oh, Bradfield gets another penalty. The thing that's catching Denzo is this track. He's not a big fan of it. Here goes Siege then. Oh, Sean saved up loads of ERS. He's not going to give this position up easily, but Siege has just got so much pace, and he gets a move done. Sean, yeah, he does back off in the braking zone. It's not worth going side by side through the final corner. Yeah, Nunda is a second off Serious Mushroom now as well. Serious Mushroom, what a quality race. Yeah, Mercedes, they're definitely two racers, Mercedes, that are incredibly quick, clean, very quick as well, and they're always two you're going to want in your hat for looking at points. As Sam Swift's going past Mr. Elite there into the final corner, he gets a bit slidey in doing so. It looked like a good move from what we saw. Mr. Elite's going to try and have a look back. And Denzo's taken at least half a second out of Rick on that lap as well. And it's far from over yet, because we did hear in the comments before the race that it is meant to dry up towards the end. So if it stops raining by about lap 30, we might see the last couple of laps where cars have to come in and put dries on. I think that little from Bradfield means he's got another warning. Does it?
Oh, my TV went on standby.
Oh. That won't be good. Dan Murphy's got another 3-second penalty. So yeah, Chaz and Crooks, he's down in 14th and 15th. They're probably the two surprises so far today at how far down they are. Obviously Chazza didn't set a lap in quali, and he's been right at the top so far this season, hasn't he? Yeah, it's all calmed down a little bit now. As soon as I say that, something will happen, won't it? But all seems to have calmed down. No close battles on the track, apart from Mr. Elite is close to Sam, and then Nunda's close to Mushroom as well, and Bradfield's got far from pot stuff. But when there is no DRS around here, it is a difficult place to overtake and to even stay near to the car in front. Gap's still the same from the two at the front. Let's get tasty between Rick and Denzo. Same Pixers. It could. It all depends on when this rain dries up, if it dries up. We've not had a safety car, not had a VSC or anything, so it should dry up. That's what we were told before. Mushroom's closing up on his teammate a bit as well here, 6 seconds. Keep an eye on that, because of course Sean has got a penalty. But yeah, penalties are going to come into it as well, and that's where Rick and Denzo are looking good too. Mushroom as well, got no penalties. Neither's Chaz, neither's Crooksy, neither's Marsky, and neither's Young Tommy. So again, they're playing on a safety car, because if they then close up, they're going to be looking really good. As Sweet MJP's got another penalty, and Bradfield's got another penalty now. He's looking so good as well. He's up to 9 seconds now, but Favre's got 12, and that's the car behind. Potstuff and Sam, and the two cars behind them, have both got 6 seconds. So as it stands, those penalties won't cost Bradfield any places. Be good to see Pot Stuff getting the points today as well. It would have been nice to see Sweet MJP get his first points, but and he still could. Like I said, he still could, but he's got a few penalties, isn't he? He's on 9 seconds too, and he's down in P17, so it's going to be hard for him to do so at the moment. And Sam Swift as well has not scored any points yet. Yeah, they're all three of those drivers are drivers that we put into League One at the beginning of the season, either as reserves or full-time seats. And Chaz has now got a 3-second penalty, and we thought they were too quick. So when the seats opened up in the Premier League, instead of rejiggling around the Championship, because the Championship battle at the top's been incredible, we thought we'd just throw these into the thick of it, and they've all been incredible. I know none of them scored points yet, but they've only been for one race for Pot Stuff and Sweet MJP, and then 3 for Sam, but they've definitely proved that they're worthy of being in this league. Farf in 10th as well. Of course, he's got 12 seconds of penalties though, so it's going to be hard for him. Mr. Elite's on 11 seconds as well, but he's had a solid debut. He's been in the action as well. It's just so hard to get out of that midfield, especially in these conditions he might not be a big fan of. 8.9 between Rick and Denzel. The gap's just not coming down quick enough at the moment, is it? And I'm not sure, but there's breaks in the clouds now. You can see some breaks in the clouds. It's positive signs for this race, because we are at a bit of a down in the race at the moment. There's not much going on the track, although Nunda's, yes, Sean's going a bit slower here, isn't he? He's fallen back from Siege quite quickly. Serious Mushroom's gained over half a second, and Nunda's really gaining on Serious Mushroom. Of course, he loves these conditions, so that's why he's closing up. He's only got 3 seconds of penalties. Same for Tango, Siege and Sean. Cowie's fallen 6 seconds back from Denzo, but at the same time he's not exactly going slow, because he's not being caught by the cars behind it. It's just simply that Denzo's and Rick's pace is incredible, absolutely monstrous. Yeah, on board shot. Has he got wing damage? I'm not sure if he has. No, I can't see any wing damage. There's got 2 end plates there. He's just maybe doesn't like these. Oh, and Serious Mushroom's just got a 3-second penalty then, so that's his first penalty. It's not going to help him, but it is his first, and I'm sure he'll be setting his head now saying just don't get any more, because other drivers probably will. If he's only got 3 warnings in 26 laps, then it's unlikely he'll get another 3 in the next 9, whereas other drivers around might be on their final warning for another penalty. Nunda's going to struggle to get past, but he is the wet master. Bradfield's doing really well to keep in front of Farf and Potstuff. He just needs to avoid getting any more penalties, because then that will start to cost him. And same for Farf as well. He's already on 12. I think he lost out here last year because of having too many penalties as well. I think it almost dropped him outside the points after crossing the line. I think it's up in 5th or something. I could be making it up, but so yeah, Nuna's Inters are going to be struggling a bit, because he did come on them a lap or 2 early when it wasn't fully wet. So they'll be on worse wear, as well as Farf as well. And of course, trying to get past Bradford as well won't help his tyres. Yeah, he's really dodging those corners now. He doesn't want any more penalties. Dan Murphy's really closing up on Sweet MJ. What did it say? It said 2 temps there, and all of a sudden it's nowhere near. That's a battle for P17. Young Tommy and Jay Story are running round quite further back. They've both pitted, I think, an extra time, haven't they? Let's have a look. How many pits have they had? Stops, there we go. Yeah, they've both had 2 stops, and of course the other cars that have had 2, it was either because of a strategy call or because of an incident at the beginning. Of course, you can see Siege as well. It's a really good move, really good switch back from Dan Murphy. In these conditions, he's kept that together really well. Great move from Dan Murphy up into P17. Siege, you've got to say, he's done fantastic. It's a shame he's not further up, but he's had to make 2 stops because of the strategy, and he has lost out to Cowie and Tango because of that, but he's still comfortably running up in P5. As Farf has just got another penalty, so he is now in trouble. He's on 15 seconds, I think, now, and he is, and Tango's in even bigger trouble because he's catching up to Cowie, and he's now unfortunately left the session. So you can see it's not absolutely plummeting down, but he's still losing plenty of time. It's definitely something we're going to bring up tomorrow in the admin meeting, possibly extending this, possibly at least up to 90, because all these drivers are capable of that. Sweet MJP is now in the pits, and it's dry. It stopped raining. It's not dry at all. It's not dry. It's still wet, but it's stopped. But Sweet MJP's had to change the wing. but it's stopped raining, so we're definitely going to get all of these cars in the next couple of laps coming for the soft tyres. It's all a matter of when, which lap do they go, and we'll see DRS enabled, and we'll see the battles recommence then. But Tango's lost 2 seconds just from being out of the session for 1 lap, and that is with it on 80. So doing very well, saying Welsh Maldonado. Talking about Mushroom there, her and Dylan. And yeah, he's doing fantastically well, and he gets past Sean as Sean comes in the pits. He's putting on the soft tyres, he's going now, so he's going early. Sean, he's going to try and undercut as Rick's got a 3-second penalty, and Denzo's gained time. So Denzo's only 7 behind, and with that penalty it's only 4. Oh, Denzo's getting wobbly there. Oh, has he not lost it? Brilliant save from Denzo. Sean's in the pits for softs, fast on coming in the pits for softs, and look how quickly the sun's coming out. How quickly is it going to dry out? Is Faf changing the wing again? No, he's not. It's my eyes making things up. We've got a real battle on, as Pixel said earlier. And Tango must have just joined back, who just got back in his car. This is going to get tasty now. I want to see Sean's times. I want to see how... But I can't because... A silly glitch. Is he closing up to the back of pot stuff though? I'm not sure. The track's dry enough yet for softs. And this could really cost Sean, but he's going for it, isn't he? Yeah, he's losing out here. It's not time for the softs yet, I don't think. Chaz has pit for them, Marcy's pit for them, Young Tommy's going to pit for them now as well. Cowie's coming to pits as well, so he's trying something different. But Rick and Denzo are staying out, and I'd stay out as well. I'd definitely stay out. Tango's staying out too. Sean's getting overtaken by Sam as well, so he's definitely gone a bit too early. At least 1 lap too early, could potentially be 2. You still see a bit of spray coming off of Sam's car in front. So Cowie, when he comes out of the pits, I think he might be a bit surprised. And Tango staying out, his eyes might light up and he might take this podium back. Potentially Siege as well. If we look at the penalties, they're both only on 3, but if Tango's in and out of the session, you're not sure what's going to happen. Nunda's in the pits for softs as well. I thought he'd definitely stay on the wets for as long as possible. It's added time, so not true. Race results saying Tango, yeah, of course, yeah, we saw that last night. That's fine. We'll keep our eyes out for that. We know what, that's ridiculous when that happens. And Tango, is he getting out of the way there? That's not Tango, that's Nunda. Nunda had to back off there, and it's still not ready for soft tyres. Rick's now in the pits. I wonder if Denzo's staying out. Denzo is staying out. Chazza gets another 3-second penalty. And I think Denzo's made the right... Oh... I was about to say the right call, but it does look a lot drier now. But this is going to be key. When Denzo pits this lap, DRS now enabled. So I don't think Denzo made the right call. I think Rick's played it perfectly. I think you'll see him gain time on Rick here. Yeah, gain time on Denzo here. Can't really tell, but for the first couple of corners. Tango is now in the pits. Siege is now in the pits. Serious Mushrooms now in the pits. The gap's 9.6 between these two. Now it's 9.5. Now 9.4, and yes, Rick has played this absolutely perfectly. Denzo has left it a lap too long, and he's going to lose out time here from being on these inters. It's not as bad as being on the dry tyres when the track's wet, but it's still not ideal, and he's going to lose out time. And Cowie might start to close up. Tango might start to close up as well, but I do think he'll comfortably come out in P2 still. Of course, last time he had to pit and change the wing. What a race this has been. Bradfield's now in the pits for the softs as well. Mr. Elite's now in too, so everyone is going to be on the softs when Denzo comes in, and he does so now, and he avoids the penalty as well. He braked pretty late, it looked borderline, but he managed to get it. Serious Mushroom then, still under pressure from Nunda. This battle goes on. Dan Murphy in 15th as Mr. Elite gets ahead of him. So where does Denzo come out? I'm sure it's going to be comfortably in P2. There's a big gap to Cowie, and Tango's really close up, and we've got a yellow flag for a racing point, and that's Chazza facing the wall, and he's lost his whole nose. No, he hasn't lost it, he just couldn't see it because of the barrier, but he's lost both end plates. Chazza maybe pushed it down a bit too early, but he's had a very poor race today. He's been really unlucky in qualifying, not being able to set a lap, but then the race, I don't think he's been in the top 10 at all. He's been unlucky, and Tango's left a session. That's just going to allow Cowie to get past him. Of course, Cowie's got so many penalties. He managed to serve one in the pits, so he missed that. That's obviously why he lost a bit of time when he pitted. But he's still got 6 seconds more penalties. So at the moment it's between Tango and Siege for the podium. But with Tango being out of the session again, should still have plenty of invites left. Of course, that makes it interesting, and Chaz has got another 3-second penalty, and I think he's going to have to come in and go for the fastest lap point. 7.7 between the top two. Denzo on the fresher tyres too, only by 1 lap, but makes more of an impact when you're on them in wetter conditions. We see a Ferrari in front there getting really close, and that is Marv's. No, it's not. Oh, it must be a car being lapped. Tango. Who's that? Oh, it's Sweet MJP, a lap down. There we go. I was going to say, I saw 2 cars getting really close. It's because 1 car's on a lap, and then can see it on the timing boards. Bradfield's in DRS at Potstuff. Potstuff's in P9. How many penalties has he got? He's on 9 seconds as well. He's now on 12 seconds. He just gets another penalty. So Bradfield's still got that place. As it stands, Bradfield's in P9. Can Potstuff cling on though? And I think Tango must have just got back into his car, and he has. He has got DRS from the car in front. I don't see why this game does this. Every time a driver, comes back into their car, it has to take the timings away. It's ridiculous. Absolute joke. Can't fault any of these drivers today. We saw a couple of incidents on lap 1. When it's Canada, it's one of those tracks. It's just so tight as you go through here. So tight. You have 20 cars, all so tight and compact. But yeah, the whole race has been incredible. Yet again. And Jay Story's got another 3-second penalty. I think he's now being lapped by Sean as well. So he's not had the best of races. Of course, being lapped here isn't everything. We saw a couple of cars lapped yesterday. Sean's got another 3-second penalty. It shouldn't make too much difference. So he's 4 seconds off Nunda, and he's 6 clear of Potstuff. He's on 12 seconds. So I think Sean's looking good for that P8 as Marv now gets a 3-second penalty. It's only Denzo and Crooksy who have not got penalties. Of course, Crooksy was good on penalties last year to get the race win. He's hoping for a late safety car. Being on that 33, I don't think we're going to get that though. There we go, timings are now back. Chaz is getting passed by young Tommy's. Chaz is carrying on with that wing damage. Maybe he's just waiting until this lap now as Siege gets past Tango. Tango pits. Oh, don't say that's his AI doing that. Why is his car just sat in the pits? Oh, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ruined Tango's race. Sweet MJP's got another penalty. Surely, I don't think that's Tango. Why would he pit? He comes out in P8 still, and he's can chase up on these last few laps and obviously go for the fastest lap too. I think he's in control of his car, isn't he? Not too sure why he pitted. Yeah, he's got less penalties, so he can chase up and hopefully go for the fastest lap too. Denzo's 5.6 off Rick with 2 laps to go. He sets the fastest lap. He's absolutely going for it. Of course, with 3 seconds penalties for Rick, it's only really 2.5 seconds. We've really got a battle on between them. The P3 is looking like it sieges at the moment because Cowie's got 12 seconds of penalties. Cowie's looking good for P4 though. It's going to take a lot for Siege to lose that place now. Serious mushroom P5. And that is why he's in the Premier League, if anyone. If he asks me again after, or saying he's too slow for it, everyone can look at that and say, absolutely not. P5 looking really, really good. He's out of DRS range as well, ahead of Nunda. Nunda's had a solid race again in P6. Could be up for most consistent the way it goes. Nunda's done really, really well last few races. Sean in 7th. Tango in 8th. He's closing up to Sean though. He's got less penalties too, so that 7th could be Tango at least. McLaren, Mercedes and Racing and Alfa Romeo, both cars in the top 8. Really good stuff from them. Talking of stuff, Potstuff in P9, 12 seconds of penalties. He should get that P10 at least. All Bradfield needs to do is cling on to the back of Potstuff or stay within a few seconds and he'll have that position. We've got a yellow flag for, I'm not quite sure what that's for. It's Chazza. I think he's just getting out of the way of some of the cars behind. He's not come in the pits though to go for fastest lap, so I'm not too sure why he's not done that. But Denzo is within 1.7, 1.6 of Rick Dalton as we're on the last lap. I think it's just a bit too much. Possibly one more lap and he could have done it.
Oh, Potstuff. He lost it there.
Bradfield's closing up to Potstuff on the straight. If he's got the pace, he'll go for it. He's running out of VRS though. He's going to get the move done though. Potstuff down to P10. Bradfield's going to get 9th on the track. Here we go, and we're on board with Rick Dalton. He's not won a race this season, has he? It's been Denzo who's just been stealing his thunder, but we've really got We've really had a fantastic race here today, and Rick's shown to us that he's got the pace to win races, he's got the pace to compete, he's going to be the one that brings the challenge forward to Denzo, and he nearly loses out the final corner, but Rick Dalton, he's going to cross the line and he wins the Canadian Grand Prix, the first win of the season for Rick. Denzo crosses the line in second place in the end. Brilliant effort there from Denzo, chasing him down at the end, but just wasn't enough as Nunda gets another 3-second penalties. We've still got the action going on behind because it's a big gap. Look, 23 seconds back to Cowie. Let's see what Cowie does as he crosses the line. I think he's got 12 seconds of penalties. Farf picks up another 3-second penalty. Young Tommy and Marvsky finished their race after being lapped. Cowie ended up 35 seconds behind. Siege comfortably takes P3 and completes the podium. Brilliant effort there from Siege, especially after having to pit twice because of the strategy. Really good race from Siege. Serious Mushroom then's about to cross the line. He takes P5. Nunda takes P6. Tango. Oh, it's such a shame. What could have been for Tango yet again because of the lags. And there we go. He's not P8. He's P7 because it added time. Oh, we see a front wing fly across the track. Sean is 8th then. Bradfield finishes 9th. Sam had no penalties. Sam at the penalties has gained on Pot Stuff and Farf. And then, what can Crooksy do? Crooksy's up to 12th. So Sam Swift gets his first point in WNR. And you know I'm going to say it. Canada, this track, and we have just done a serious mushroom driver of the day. The game's given it to Canada, League One, Championship, Premier League. We've just done a whole race weekend with not a single safety car and not a single DNF. So every single one of the... We only had 18 in League One, but to every single one of the 58 drivers this weekend, take a bow. Absolutely brilliant from you all. To have no DNF and no safety car, that's almost unheard of. Couldn't be prouder of that. That's incredible. And Cryptic saying it's because I didn't race in any of them. And yep, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be saying that. He didn't play in pro clubs last night and we got promoted. He's a jinx. So Denzo, was Denzo the only one not to get penalties? Or did Crooksy not get any in the end? Oh, Crooksy got a 3-second penalty in the end, so yeah, Denzo showing his class there as well, but Rick takes the win. I don't think any of these three come on the party, so we're not going to have any interviews at the end. Cowie P4, much better race than Quali, wasn't it? Serious Mushroom, definitely going to be a nomination for Driver of the Day. Tango is up to P7, he did say added on time, and we saw that as well. So Tango 7th, Nunda 6th as well, Solly from McLaren. Bradfield 9th as well, reserving for Red Bull, picks up a couple of valuable points for them. And then Sam Swift pips Pot Stuff to his first point in WNR as well. Pot Stuff and Crooksy, they'll be pretty annoyed about that being 11th and 12th, but good from them. Mr. Elite as well, P13, good debut. Dan Murphy and Farf, Marvsky, Young Tommy, Chazza, Sweet MGP and Jay Story complete every single car to finish the race. Justin is better at left wing back anyway. Yeah, he had a great showing last night, didn't he? Wrong strat and wing damage equals P17 for Tommy. Yeah, he was very unlucky, weren't he? No DNFs in all three leagues, saying Shadows. Yeah, like I say, I couldn't be prouder of that. Well done all, saying Serious Mushroom. Absolutely. Well done to everyone. Dylan saying well done to Rick for the race win and no DNF all weekend. Yeah, Rick Dalton, he's the man that's going to have to take the headlines here because he gets his first win of the season, and it's really good because he won it on track. I know Denzo had that incident where he lost it on the straight and got wing damage, but he won it because he was really quick as well. He was getting past Denzo on the track. Really good battle, and it'd be great to have that battle a lot more often. GG's Mushroom saying Nunda, they had a good race, didn't they? And Mushroom saying what a mad race, oh my god.
Cracking race.
Absolutely fantastic. It was, I bet it was great to race in, even better to sit here and watch as well. Absolutely brilliant. Oh no mate, you did amazing. Just lost it under pressure, saying Tommy. That's after his battle with Mushroom. And as we still have no interviews, I don't think Siege, Denzo and Rick joined for interviews. What a way to end it though. Can't believe what a fantastic weekend we've had, and next week is Italy as well. So, you know, Canada's normally a track where you see a lot of incidents, and you know, a lot of things go wrong in Canada, and Italy's usually not. So I hope it doesn't just reverse it for us.
Jinx that.
But I hope Italy obviously is going to be more of the same, as I hope every weekend is as well. But yeah, what a way to end it as well. So Italy next week.
Brilliant, lads. Well done.
Big congratulations again to everyone, and yeah, we'll